How you guys doing? This is Hybridsteel. Welcome back to Gold Rush Leaderboard 30. And I still don't know where I am in the leaderboard. I apologise for being a little bit late this morning. I was watching the Y-Files. So, boo-hoo. You know, that's all I can really say. I enjoy it. Right, so, we got 2 days to go. Well, technically, I mean, it's like 2 days ago, but it's technically 3. Because like I've got today, which is the 5th, and then the 6th, 7th, and it runs out on the 7th, so I can actually technically play this game until like Sunday night. So I might do that. We'll see how things go. I might just play the game and be happy, and then write my evaluation up at the end of it and do a little video and so on and so forth. But apart from that, we're all good. It's all right. So let's continue, shall we? Here we are. Right, so leaderboard position, because this is the first thing that people ask for when I normally... oh no, it's having a stuttery time. Excellent, fantastic, that's what we like to see. Here we go, I am 14th. Actually, I haven't moved since... Oh, Gadfield tried to catch up last night. Congratulations, mate, you did put a bloody lot of effort in. Michael, how you doing there, sir? Thank you very much for kicking by. Gadfield racked up the time yesterday. Right, he went for it, by the looks of it. So my plan is I wasn't really going to think of doing a cleanup until maybe Saturday night. Like, Crisis over on Twitch, thank you very much for kicking by. So the plan was I was just going to keep going. I was just going to, because we had this chat yesterday, I was like, what would be the best way to do a cleanup? And I'm like, can I really wait until Saturday night to do a cleanup? I mean, can I really do like 100, maybe 150 buckets or whatever I can mash up in the next day or two? You know, it's a lot of digging, but it's a lot of gold and it's a lot of reward. Now, I could just sit there and stockpile buckets, but I don't know what that would do to the overall performance of the game, considering each bucket would have to be filled with dirt, and dirt is a problem, and I don't know how much this game can actually hold before it starts having a hissy fit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go down that route. I suppose I could and see what happens, but yeah, we'll just carry on. So I started digging this morning whilst I was watching the Y-Files. I was digging. So what I've done so far is basically all I've done. I started digging the first square, and then I looked at it just like there's no point, and just carried on moving this one. I flattened off a bit of this terrain last night just so I could get down, just so I don't have to go through as much overburden. So it does work out a bit better, but apart from that, yeah, we're all set and ready to go. I think I'm on my I'm on about a rotation and a half right now. So yeah, just have to keep going. How goes the battle today? I'm still where I was yesterday, so I think I'm 14th, which is all right. You know, and I'm doing all this without like messing around too much, so I'm all good. And I'm not really optimizing how I'm digging either, or just like, I'm just doing it at my sort of pace, and it seems to be sort of working. You know, I know some people just like quit off, so I'm going to overtake them, but you know, that's just how it is. I'm unfortunately one of those people who do have enough spare time to do this now. I say unfortunate because most people are in this position. Like, you end up you're in like some sort of medical problem, or you're, you know, I mean, I say unfortunately, you might be retired and living your best life, so you could just be kicking back and playing Gold Rush for funsies and being happy. So yeah, I mean, some people are in an unfortunate circumstance where they play this, and then others, they just want to play it and be happy. How did your computer compare to Splits? He did 80 to 100 buckets without difficulty. I should be alright then. If he did that before, because that was sort of like in his older days, I think he had like a 2060, 2070 card. I can't remember what he had then. So yeah, I might be able to do it. So we'll just see how things go. But yeah, I gotta be honest, I would like to see him come out of retirement just for what, just for like a modern day battle, just to see if it would be able to done, but that's up to him. You know, he's a busy man now, like, especially because he's quite in deep with like working on this as the one of the testers, and then he's quite deep into Out of Awe as well, and the other stuff he's doing. So, you know, I'd give it to him. He does what he does. Apart from that, it's all right. Good early morning. I only have a few minutes before I head to work. Not a problem, bud. Thank you very much for just even saying hello. It's much appreciated. Have a great day. And know you got the weekend coming up, so look forward to that. My music is particularly loud this morning. There you go. I can actually hear that now and hear myself think. There we go. So yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow, but I'll probably. No, I don't want to do that. I'll probably be digging throughout the day because it's the weekend. My kids aren't normally that bad. As long as they've got their TV, they've got their colouring books, they've got all the other stuff. They'll be all right for the Saturday. We'll do a bit of reading with them in the morning, but then they're like left to your own devices for the afternoon. Fend for yourself. So yeah, I'll be doing the same. Guaranteed Kerry will be sitting there kicking around doing whatever she's doing. It'll probably be like Final Fantasy or something. Because she likes Final Fantasy. It's fine. Do 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 do. Right, let's go and fill up all the let's go and fill up the Franks because they're getting a little bit low now. Like I said, I've been running these. I think I ran them for about an hour already, so I'm not even sure how far through this lot I'm at right now. Well, I'm actually quite high. Okay, so 82% on the second run. Fantastic. But yeah, I got all this set up yesterday. I sort of just platted around with it for a bit, and I was like, yeah, it's all good. And then, yeah. This will be the last time I'm able to reset a claim though, because there's enough dirt up here to last me a day. Well, there's enough dirt up here to last me a couple of days. So, what I might do is, if I'm feeling, I don't know if I really want to. I'll see what I'm feeling like on Sunday. It's just I think Sunday is going to be. I'll play the game for a bit, do some bits offline, but I've got to do the recording. I've got to start putting videos together for not just this channel, but for the other one as well, because I'm racking content up for that one. So I've got like a month in advance, so it's not as hard to sort of keep up with. That's the plan. Basically, when it starts up, I want to be so I'm a month in advance. When I get through the first week of February, I want to have like 3 videos ready for the beginning of March. That's all, because I want 12 videos a month on there. So yeah, it's a little bit of work, but apart from that, it's all good. I can start doing bits and pieces today as well, because I did a bit of grinding on Storage Hustle, which is one of the games I want. I'm basically at the moment I'm to a point of finishing up on that one. So I wanted to basically put the finishing videos on that channel first. I've got House Flipper 2 to start blitzing through as well, so that's going to be one of those sort of like longevity things. I think that might even be a month's worth of content. I'll see how things go, or do like 2 weeks 1 month and then 2 weeks another month, and then just put some more stuff out. See how things go. If I could get into Keymailer, I'd be a lot happier, but every time I go on there, it goes invalid session. I'm like, but I've logged into this for like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I don't know if it's just a problem on their side of things, but it's definitely not letting me in. Maybe. I fell asleep before I saw the total on your clean out that night. Oh, it was 45,579. If you're worried about lag, then you could gather as many buckets as you want. I'll be alright. I'll just see how things go, mate. It's not that bad. Looks like it was 5.5k. Yeah, it was. It was good. It was a nice little clean up yesterday, and then obviously did the reset. So now I'm back to digging again. But I showed the process of what I do. I just basically just push the reset button and carry on. You know? I didn't choose this claim. It chose me. Right, so now we're on our final run. So I mean, I'll see how I feel. I mean, I know I want to get like a full like 24 buckets done today. But then if I dig for another, I don't know, 6 hours offline, that's going to be another 24 buckets. So potentially I could have like 200 buckets done for Saturday, depending on how long I go for. But yeah, yesterday I set up, I was done, I was fine, and then I just carried on. Basically, I got it to this point, and then I'll grid it out, do a little bit of dozing, so it makes it a little bit easier to get around on, and then yeah, I just pratted around for the rest of the time. Last night I didn't really do too much. I just set up. I could have been digging, but by the end of it, I was like, you know what? I just want to sort of chill for a bit. And I'm getting I'm getting through it. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big one. I think for me, tomorrow's going to be like a bigger push because it's more towards like the end of it all, where I've only got like a day and a half left, sort of thing. I'll be like, right, okay, I think I'll just dig through Saturday, see where it takes me, and go from there. But if it takes me 3 hours to do 30 buckets, and 30 buckets is about, I don't know, it's about a row and a half. And we just try and cut it down like we did yesterday, where we were basically just feeding straight onto the frank until it was filled. Right, this should be bucket. This is truck number 1 of the new load. The water source has dried up. It doesn't matter. We're in summer, and it all comes from the water tower, so it's okay. I'll just switch pipes. It'll be fine. Bum, 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 bum. Moving on. Moving on. There we go. We're moving forwards. I think getting as much digging possible would be good for a clean out. 2 to 6k of gold, taking 15-30 minutes. You got an incredible claim spawn. Yeah, so that seems to be. I think I'm just gonna dig. So even if it's like even away from stream, I'm just gonna carry on. I am only gonna go up till like Sunday evening though, because in the evening that's when I normally get my recordings done. So I'll get a load of recording done before I finish. So yeah, it'll be alright. Here we go. How you doing, are we? So I did a little bit more, like, if you look at where my fuel tanks are now, I actually put them on flat land, because I was sitting there going, I don't like it when they wobble around or they move, or like you accidentally bump them and then they're just like way off center. So I actually built little sort of car parks for them because I'm that sad. But yeah, I was like, I don't want them wobbling around. I think I turned the game sound down really low on this. Give me a sec. Excellent. Settings, game, not that one. Sound. Oh yeah. There we go. We can put the master volume up to 69, dude, and see if that makes any difference. So you actually able to hear things. The rumbling of the tracks as the excavator goes by. The complaining of the person who's sitting in the back and going, "Oh, you're not doing it fast enough." Somebody wants to work for me. Oh, great. We'll have a look. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be skipping any more seasons. I think, well, as in like, you know, summer, autumn, spring and everything, I think I'm just going to work through. Worst comes to worst is I end up like hitting winter and I'm like, oh, bugger. I think that'll be it. If I hit winter during this like time, I'm probably just going to stop. There's no point in me carrying on. I played Little Thief Sim 2. Just did the jail escape mission for... Yeah, I like that one. That was a good little mission, that. I think that was the last mission I actually played. Oh no, the last mission I played was I had to break into somebody's shop. Yeah. I found 4 tiny gold flakes in real life with my detector. Nice. So they were pulling off that much of a signal that you actually were able to find them. That's good. You're on the gold. Yeah, I've got a friend who's doing metal. She got a metal detector for Christmas, and her husband have been going out on walks. They found 52p, some nails, and like a tractor axle. Random. Okay, cool. All that matters is you having fun. Yeah, like, I'm good, man. I don't think I'll make top 10. I think I'm off top 10. The reason why I'm off top 10, like I could break this down. So I've only got, you know, I'm half away from Old Man, right, and some of the bigger up guys. The reason why I'm a little bit behind is because at the end of the day, I started off quite poorly. You know, I didn't really know what I was doing. I probably spent about a week and a bit just sort of faffing around too much, right? So in my next one, I'll be a little bit better off. Also, when I got here, I spent a lot of time learning how to use the dozer and learning how to like grade down and everything else, and really sitting there just going, is it really worth it? You know, I spent about a week just going through that as well. So I would say that because of the way that I'm doing stuff now, my next leaderboard I'll be higher up because I'm able to understand what I'm supposed to be doing properly. Supposedly hunting for meteorites is big with metal detector. Yeah, I mean, you got to think that the metals that come off of a meteorite are either really rare or they don't exist on this planet. So you never know. Have a great Friday. Cheers, Manny. Have a good day. And I know you're going to work and all, but it is Friday, so you got the weekend coming. It's just around the corner. You can do this. Get through it. Sit back after you're finished. Enjoy. Grab a beer, or if you drink. Grab some popcorn and just know you're all right for another week. Imagine finding an ancient coin cache. You would hit. There was a guy who actually did that in the UK. He found I think he was just metal detecting in a field in Wiltshire or something like that, and the coins he dug up were worth like something stupid like £1 million. They were museum quality coin. It was like this is bloody good. Guy's rich now, but yeah, he found like this cache that was just in the middle of a field somewhere. Madness. What I'd like to do, and it sounds like a really weird one, but what I'd like to do is go to somewhere like where they did like gold mining, so an actual gold mine, you know, big cavey one, right? Because obviously, or go up the Klondike on the rivers that used to be done. But then, what I'd like to do is actually go finding all the stuff that like the miners left behind, like, you know, tins, and it gives you a better picture of the people that were actually mining, you know. And to me, that's more of a bit more fun because you're actually learning about the history of it all. You know, trying to find the artifacts of the people who used it, which is why I like Brent's channel, Ghost Town Living, because he finds all those sort of like bits and pieces of like the old denim trousers that they wore down the mines and the shoes and you start building up an actual idea of what these people used to be like who were mining for silver. That it does give you a little bit more sort of a history buff, which is pretty cool. I like learning about the older ways. Obviously, I'm not really much of an older person, but it's always good to see how things were built on and who did it. You know. Found a hot rock today. That was wondering if it was a meteorite. Still, till I found a much bigger rock with the same kind of. Oh, okay. It might just be like an iron rock. I don't know. I mean, the only way to do it is to split the rock. If you smell. Ryan, how you doing? Good morning. Bum, bum, bum. Green with white spots was weird. It sounds weird, actually. It might have been jade or a jadette. The white would have been maybe... I don't know. What's white that would set off a metal detector? We don't know. I would put a bet on maybe jadette, but that's if your area's known for it. But I don't know many gold rock. I mean metal rocks. Like it could have been copper, like just ionized. White was quartz. Okay, so it could have been. It may have been copper then, or silver. But whatever it was ionized because it had gone green. Don't know. I think that would have been one that you picked up, take a photo of, and just gone right. Facebook world. Or the hive mind of like critical thinkers, which is Facebook. What is this? So when you get hold of a geologist or trying to find out the geological records of the actual area you live in to see what's around. So it might be worth it. I mean, you might sit there and just go, bloody hell, I found this. Magnet fishing is another way for a cheap, but quite... Yeah, magnet fishing's a bit funky. So, if I did it around my way, like, I wouldn't be able to do it here because there's no rivers where I live. Well, there is, but they're not very, like... They're not very well public. Like, people don't go there for a walk. They normally just go there because they have to drive over it because of the road. If I went to some of the local places, normally it would be like shopping trolleys, maybe knives, that sort of thing. But that's really about it in the rivers that surround the area I live in. Shopping trolleys are the most famous one. You'll always find them. Right, I'll do one more and then try and figure out where I am in this whole section. Because like I said, I did some digging before I came online, so I can't remember numbers now. Are Hoffman jokes outdated yet? Missed a few seasons. No, you can still tell me Hoffman jokes. They got their own series though, so they actually did all right. They basically went back into the mining world with the Holy Roller and Todd's son Hunter. He got his own plant, and basically they were basically dual fueling plants. They did all right. I think they're going to go back for another season because they did okay. But I think Todd sort of realised that Hunter's actually capable now, which is quite nice. Yeah, apart from that, it's all good. Have you? Could you end up with World War II? Yeah, well, you could do. I mean, it's depending where you go for that. Like, so if you metal detected down by sort of like Dover, maybe you might be able to find some, but most of it nowadays has all been sort of like, we didn't really have a lot over here because we didn't really fight on our shores. It was more France. If you go France and Germany, you'll always find like ammo and bits and pieces, but you won't find so much actually in the UK. You'll mainly find arrowheads and things like that. Like, you might find the odd coin from the Roman era. That's really, just coins and arrowheads and broken pottery. That's pretty much what we've got over here. I started watching from the beginning and just finished season 5. Nice. I watched the late. I think unless there was an episode this week which I've missed, I watched everything to do with season 14 now. There's plenty of stuff in our lakes in Germany. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look what happened in Germany. For the UK, it's not so much. Most of the UK is, you might find the odd handgun because of like people still using guns, even though it's sort of like illegal. Most you'll find in the rivers around our way are, well, basically knives, random assortment of crap, whatever falls into a river, and shopping trolleys, depending on how close you are to a shopping centre. Gold Rush is good to get into. I liked it, you know. But you can still take the piss out of the Hoffmans. But I think it's just because if you watch how it was all done, like the first couple, I felt like the first season they were more of the joke. But obviously they're like, okay, well, brand new, they didn't really know what they were doing, sort of thing. They did get better over time, but like the problem with Todd is that he's too hot-headed, and he just doesn't like anybody else's way but his own. So he's always going to be made fun of because he doesn't listen to anybody else. That's the problem. Right, I've got to shut the curtain because I'm getting blinded. And don't forget, if the postman comes, I have to go quickly. It's one of those things. If I get it was supposed to turn up before 10. I'm like, yeah, okay, postman's normally here by then. That's why I started the stream late. So I was watching the Wi-Files. I was like, I'll wait for the postman. He hasn't turned up yet. So chances are he's going to turn up at like 11:30. And I'll just go from there. But it's not, you know, I just have to go down and get a package or a parcel or letters. It's because we live upstairs. The joys of living in a flat. And then I get my shopping tomorrow. It's a weird thing to be happy for, let's put it. Right, so go forwards, set this all up. Right, 59 plus 19, 78. Think so? Yeah, maybe. But I need to do one more, and then we're good. If you metal detect and land of old training firing range, you might find bullets or shrapnel. The only place, well, mainly if you find that around here, you'd have to go to Staplehurst, which is elsewhere. That's an army military. That's a military ground. There's an old like airfield army base down the road from like me. So I could probably find something there. There is an active training area at Canberra, so you could find stuff there as well. Canberra's desolate though, so like, most of the things that happen down there is mainly just seaside. But they used to have, I say used to because I'm not sure if it's still there, but yeah, it used to be like an army training area. I'd probably find loads. I lived Sandhurst, Aldershot, and yeah, so you'd probably find bits there, easy, because it's like, you know, firing ranges. Oh yeah, Sandhurst, not Staplehurst. What am I on about? There used to be a barracks up in Maidstone, but I think it's still a barracks, but it's more like they have put homes nearby it as well now. How you doing, Ben? Welcome back. Yeah. Well, it's depending on what you're looking for. I mean, if you want to find like bullets and bits and pieces, yeah, go to Battlegrounds. I think for me, it would be more, I could just dig up money, because there's lots of people who just leave money laying around. Or they just drop it and then they forget. That sort of thing. My brother kept me up until 2 watching The Office and then complained the next morning that I kept waking him up. Yeah, well, that'll happen. Joys of life. What you do is just turn around and say, well, shut up and go to bed then. What you gotta do? Just put your foot down. Say, look, you're affecting me sleeping, I'm gonna affect you sleeping. Tit for tat. Don't like it, move out. If I could drive this morning, it would be awesome. Technically, this should be the last load. Oh, it's spinning up the side and it's going to pile up, and I don't want it to. Thank you. Go forth and procrastinate. Dun 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 dun. Na 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 na. Right. No, I need you to go forwards and then forwards. That should be far enough. Yeah, and then we need to move this forwards. Forwards. There we go. Right, cool. It's in the right place. Ready to dig. Hopefully. We're just about to finish up on one run. Oh, one more run. I don't know, 79% plus 19. Oh, that's 89. It should be 100%. Should be. The main reason why I'm standing here is because once it's all processed through, I'll know how much I've got to put in. It might only be like 2-3% dirt. It's because when I reset the claim and they put all the stuff out, my hopper still had dirt in it, so I ran that. It came up to like 11%. So we'll see now. When it comes to mining games, do you prefer the realism of the process or just the act of digging? The act of digging. So I would there's a game out there, I think it's called Cat Mine. I'd play that because it's a mining game. I do prefer. I like this because it's more like the actual TV show. So I like the TV show. So my bias is that I like this as well. Are the larger amounts of streams gonna be permanent thing, or is this just Gold Rush for now? So the idea of doing the streaming stuff is normally I would just do 3 streams a week. So I would do I'd do Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning because I'd be sitting here, my kids are at school, I'll carry on. The other days I'll be using for recording and editing and bits and pieces. And then on Saturdays I'll do my main stream over here and it's fine. When a Gold Rush season comes through and I'm like, you know what, I want to give this a go, I'll do another like 30 days. You know, basically this channel becomes more of a live streaming mining channel, and then my other channel is more for just fun crappy videos that I like putting together. So it all comes down to what I prefer to do. Now, I will be playing other games. I won't just be playing Gold Rush. I'll be playing... There's Out of Ore, Farming Simulator 2022's like my gold mining mods. There's... I could redo the Planet Crafter, because that's technically mining. You know, just mainly just games I'm going to put onto here which are more of that sort of genre. That niche, so to speak. And then from there it's whatever. So... Has it stopped? It has stopped. Right, so I need 5%. Oh no, it's 28% in a truck. Because we're on our last 5% of dirt. So yeah, 28% into a truck. Let's go. Right, that should be enough. 28%, 29%. That will fill up the rest of the bits, and we should be fine. Have you ever considered playing a Five Nights at Freddy's game on stream? Nope. Even though it is a world-renowned, like, famous game, I don't really care for it. And as I said, I mean, when it comes to the horror genre of gaming and stuff, it's not really my thing. I think it's just that, it's like, yeah, whatever. Unfortunately, I'm just one of those people. Just don't really care for it much. 50 hours in Out of Ore here? Yeah, I don't even know how many hours I put into Out of Ore. I know I've done a few, but like I don't know how many it is. Out of Ore's a good game though. I mean, as I said, the problem with Out of Ore is there's no goal. You're playing just because you're playing. It's that, yeah, yeah, okay, I'll play it, it's okay, and then you've got no goal. There's no reason to play it apart from just mining and being happy. But once you've mined and been happy, you've got to come up with your own sort of wild entertainment of how to keep playing the game. That's sort of what puts me off a little bit of Out of Ore at the moment, until like there's like missions being put in, like I can keep myself busy. That's sort of what I'm looking for, you know, like if I get a task, like if I get a mission, build a road to this place. Alright, cool, I'm building a road, that's what I'm going to be doing. And then that can actually be a video or a live stream or something to focus on. But in its current state, Out of Ore is a good mining game, but there's no checkered flag. There's no, I don't know what I'm doing afterwards sort of thing. That's part of the reason why I'm a little bit annoyed with it, in a way. Because I need something to focus on. Like with Gold Rush, I mean, the reason why I'm enjoying Gold Rush so much, like more right now, is because it's leaderboard. It means I've got something to do, and that's sort of where I'm at. So I'm able to do leaderboard. I've got a focus, and my goal is to have fun and go up against whatever and whoever's around, and that's all good for me. That just means I've got something to do. But with Out of Ore, I'm like, I sort of got lost after I built my tunnel. I was like, so what am I going to do now? And I haven't played it since, really. I went on it and I was like, that's cool. Now what? And that was my problem. So yeah, Out of Ore is going to be better for me at some point, but at the same time, I don't know what to do with it right now. There's only so much I can sit there and go, yeah, well, I'm going to be doing this today, this today, and this today, and you know, and then there's like 15 to 20 hours worth of gameplay just to do one tiny thing. That was my main issue. So that's why, like, Out Out of War is more of a live stream game, just because of like the sheer length you have to play the game for, because of just how much you have to do. Like, there's a lot of digging and a lot of faffing around and a lot of like, well, it's mainly just mining until you get to like something good. Right, now I'm down here, I can turn the water off for a second. But was there a focus in Hydroneer, or was it just the same? So with Hydroneer, Hydroneer's got that thing where you've got the progression of the game. It's the, well, you know, okay, I've got tier 1, I can build up to tier 2, I can move plots, you know, and that was the game, which I enjoyed more. But then I actually found reasons to play it, like how to make more money, how to do this better. Like working in the game to itself and like automating was just that direction of the game. So you had more to do. With Out of War, it's set up your wash plant and then go and dig stuff. And you're like, right, what about, you know, how do I do gem separation? It all has to go into a sales point. So there's, and I don't know, for some reason, Out of War just, for me, it feels like it's going to be a good game. It just needs an actual direction, if you know what I mean. Hydroneer's like actual direction in the game is to get better, get bigger, and go from there. And then basically you've finished the game. I just found more ways to play it. And then tutorialing it was like one of the best things I could have done, because it made me stay interested in the game. And the other problem with Out of War, I only know something to do after work, don't really need a goal. Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, for me, it's more I need something to do or to teach. Like for me, I did well doing the tutorials and stuff, and I enjoyed doing the tutorials. So that gave me a purpose to keep playing the game for longer, because I was able to help out a community, which was sort of the main goal. After I started to realise there was no real tutorial for the game, I became the person to build it, and so that's what sort of helped. I wouldn't have played if I had played Hydroneer and then it wasn't as, I would say, if it wasn't as empty, where it actually had like explanations on how to do all this, that and the other, I probably wouldn't have played it as much. But because I got into it and I started to sort of like rip it apart and deal with it my own way, it gave me a reason to play it. It's sort of why that I liked playing this. Because when you first start playing Gold Rush, you don't really know what you're doing unless you've played this sort of thing or done it in the past. You don't really know what you're doing, so you're learning. You try and find ways of doing things better and faster. And that's just evolution of a game. Same with Hydroneer. You try and do things better and faster, and you always want to know the next thing, so it was easy to teach. With Out of War, it's here's your dozer, here's your front loader, and go and mine. The one part, you've got no way of finding where your ore is unless you look on the map and find like a grey square. You know, drilling would be a good start for mining. You know, drill a plot. The other thing is there's no plots of land, so you literally got free roam over the whole map, and you're like, Jesus, I've got all this land and I don't really know what to do with it all. So you end up just driving around endlessly going, well, I think I'll go and mine over here maybe, but we'll see how things are, you know. I sort of do hope that Christian does, I hope he figures it out. I really do. I feel like I've done these pipes around the wrong way. I know it's dry, but it's fine. I just need this one up here for now. Does anyone know my real name? Some people do, yeah. The reason why I try and keep that quiet is because, you know, I don't want people... I know it sounds horrible. I don't really want people to come onto my Facebook page or, like, find out where I live. that sort of thing. And you know, I sort of do hope that people do take that in as a, it's not a negative, it's just that's the way. Yeah. Well, that's because it's a mining game. Mining isn't supposed to be all happy and Larry like all the time. Did I not turn my water on? I swear it was on. This was on. Huh. Why are you having problems? Let's just reset this down and see what happens. Okay, so when did I turn off this? I don't remember turning off my water. Crazy. I don't know what happened. Oh, I need to turn the nuggets down there. I want to get out of ore to avoid. I want to get out of ore to avoid that. Hold on, out of ore to avoid that. Just because the world seems infinite, you can always set up a shop. Yeah. So my problem is it can't. You can set up a shop and all, but then there's no. I don't know. It just feels like it's very empty right now. But I did prefer it when you had the old like area where you actually had like a headquarters and you were able to go off and do stuff. I found that a bit better because there was a reason for me to like road out and go to different places, and I liked that. That was cool. Even then, I was still sitting there going, "So what's next?" You know, I think the idea would be it needs more content in it to actually make it more sort of viable as a game that people are going to enjoy and play differently as well at the same time. And what I say when I say that is like you need a drilling machine to be able to find where ore is. The map needs to be divided up into plots of land, at least, because plots of land will help out, sort of give people a different direction of where you want to go. You know, some people might not want to be gold miners, they might want to be like lithium miners, so they're going to be like lithium mining. Other people might just enjoy making copper. Then you've got to find something to do with the mining the material is completely fine, but you're mining it into just one location and then that's the whole game. And I'm like, it does feel like it's sort of like half a game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I like Out of Ore, but I need more stuff to do in it instead of just. And you know, it'd be nice if I could set up my own blacksmithing plant, or I could do my own stuff, or sell things instead of just chucking it all into a sell point and it's all being done for me. Like collecting like 10,000 rubles for a Russian lord or something stupid like that. You know, just give me missions to do. Things that I can sort of build a story upon, or I can actually feel like I'm doing something instead of just, oh, I'm mining, oh, I'm making loads of money. Because I mean, now I've got like $20 million, and I'm just sitting there going, so what's next? I need that next thing to do. Like Gold Rush is like the epitome of it. It's basically, what am I doing? I'm gold mining. Why am I doing this? To compete in leaderboards. Okay, so that's my goal. My goal is just to keep playing until leaderboard finishes, and that's basically my entire time. When you play solo mode, as somebody like myself who needs an end goal, I need to be able to get to somewhere at the end and be like, this is what I'm doing this for, and then it works. So yeah, it all comes down to that really. Now that's sort of what I need. I need something to keep me playing. So Hybridsteel, the reason why I kept playing was because I was able to help people and explain things to people who didn't quite get it, like myself. I started off as a complete imbecile on that game, and I'm still an idiot, but I sort of know how the game works, which is nice. And then being able to bring people up to that level is all good. So still mining centric, but yeah, basically. So that, yeah, but to be able to drill your own land would be pretty cool. Like you buy a plot of land for, I don't know, like I said, I got 20 million in the game. So if I've got 20 million, I want to buy a 75-acre section of land. I know that's not a big piece, but down the road where they want to put a solar farm looks like a massive piece of land. So if I want to buy 75 acres of land, and be like, that's what I want to buy. Okay, that's like 6 million. All right, I'll take that for 6 million. Now what's on it? Okay, I don't know what's on it. I've got to drill it and find out what's in it. So I'm going to go and get a drill. I'm going to do some drilling, like in a grid reference style, a bit like Gold Rush, or wherever I drill, I can just choose a piece of land, drill it through with the drill, and I'll be happy. And then it's going to tell me what's in the earth, like lithium or coal or steel or anything, and we'll just go from there. If it's any sort of element, then there's going to be certain things you have to be able to mine that element. So obviously, if it's gold, you need a gold wash plant, so you need to set up a wash plant. If it's lithium mining, you need obviously a rock crusher and some chemical stuff. So all this stuff needs to be put into the game as well, so it becomes more interactive with the stuff you're actually mining to make it feel a bit more sort of industrial. If that makes sense, that's sort of where that's where I would like to see Out of All go. That would be my idea for it. Because if you're mining for anything, there's a process to do every single thing. So if you're copper ore mining, you're literally just mining out so you can like mine copper. You need to smelt it down, then it gets sold to companies to make electronics and things like that. If you're diamond mining, it's a different process. I mean, most of the diamonds in Ghana are found by sifting, but you can go diamond mining, like deep mining. So that's something you would need to look into. And then how you process them and how you cut them down. Obviously, if you were a diamond miner in Out of Ore, you'd need a diamond plant, so you'd be able to have to like cut diamonds down properly and make them a better grade. Maybe even an upgrade system where you're able to make better grade diamonds to make more money. So then you could go off and become a gold miner. That it's just a lot of progression that I want in the game, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. As I said, it's literally just Christian and I think like other people he's bringing in every now and then to do stuff. But my idea for Out of Ore, I mean, you could go down so many possibilities with that game. It's ridiculous. Homeless Mike, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Might only work in multiplayer, like a player. Well, I mean, multiplayer is coming to Out of Ore, but I wouldn't care if it was just like a sell point, like Hybridsteel has several sell points where you can either do stock market selling or selling to a jewelers. And that makes it a little bit more interactive then, because you've got a choice of where you want to sell things or what you want to make to sell. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be multiplayer to have an economy, but it just has to have a reason to do things. And that's what I see. Perfect. I didn't need the extra bucket this time. But then the problem with my idea is if let's say Christian listened to everything I said, it could take him a couple of years to implement all that, and that would be another problem. It's trying to keep people more interested in it. I followed you on Twitch too, starting now, mate. I've got to put my notifications up on Twitch because I keep getting followed on there as well. I'm like, right, when I come offline, I go onto Twitch and like shut it all down. It's like a few more people are now following. I'm just sitting there going, oh man, I didn't get any notifications. So I will have to start putting them up in my stream, and I want to get it so it comes up on the stream as well. So I'm gonna have to go on Stream Elements at some point and look into that. It's not too hard to set up. I just haven't done it. It's another thing on the checklist of things I have to do. So I apologise for all the people that actually do follow me on Twitch and I've never mentioned you. I'm so sorry. But Charles, very much. I think I'm up to 282 followers now on Twitch. And that's alright, I can deal with that. More people the merrier though, but I mean, it's because I only play Gold Rush. I'm not playing anything like Call of Duty wise. I'm not exciting. Giggity, 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 ooh. Right, there we go. So, ready to do another 15 truckfuls now. My neck's still a bit funky as well, which sucks. Pardon me. Do you have any grey bourbon? There we go. So I'm not cleaning up just yet. I'll carry on. The worst part about cleaning up during the summer is it's the summer and the water source keeps like dying because it's too hot, apparently. Right, let's go and fill up the Franks. And then we carry on. Just rinsing through this stuff now. That would actually be really cool. It would be cool too if the leaderboard seasons with a varied focus of to mine. Maybe even a surprise until day one. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, the way to keep things like level is to give everybody the same thing. And then you make it more fun. So one time you put it in that you can only use certain bits of equipment, or you only have to do this. And you would just vary up the rules that the game is like built on for that one season. Time to buy more buckets? Maybe soon, yeah. What I'll do is I'll get through this cleanup first and we'll go from there. Did I fill up the other one as well? 1, 2... Oh, I've got 3 there. There's my third. I'm a donut. See, this little hump here is being formed by the excess stuff that drops off, so it might start causing a problem. If it causes a problem, I'm going to be very annoyed. Actually, I need to check my staff quick as well, because I've got a staff request. If there's any mechanics in there, I'll pick up the mechanics. I don't need anybody else. I just need mechanics, because then they can keep things running. I don't have to keep repairing them myself. Right, workers. Awaiting. Overseer. We don't need him an overseer. Conveyor. We don't need him either. That's fine. Thank you very much for coming through, Bethulu. If you have enjoyed yourself here and you've enjoyed the chat, hit the like, subscribe, notification button below. If you haven't already, if you have, most appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on another time. Right, back to the dig. Well, it's getting dark now. Got to turn the lights back on. God damn. I actually wish there was a mod or something I could turn off the bloody night cycle in this game. You know, to keep the clock running so I know it's like day and night, but keep it daylight so I can see what I'm doing. It's not bucket, it's bouquet. Video inception confused me. Huh? Do you mean the film Inception? Or do you mean just my stream in general? Because if it was my stream, I apologise. Yeah, it's keeping up appearances. Mrs. Bouquet, lady of the house speaking. Richard, you are a silly man. Your outro just sent. Oh no, that's just because I was saying bye-bye to somebody. It's fine. I do that from time to time. I even do it to my brothers now. It's like, you know, it's a bad habit when. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'm doing it actually in real life. Do 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 do. What's up? What, of January? Oh, what? Oh, okay, yeah, no, but that's like they haven't even been back 2 weeks. It's like, well, we're just going to send your kids to London again. If it's free, it's free, but it's still like, literally, they did London Tower last year. They did Hayes. Grand. More train journeys for the 7-year-old. They're not going to the gift shop by orders of the headmistress. What's your opinion on tuna jacket potatoes? No. Pretty simple. Number one, tuna. No, I'm not a tuna person. On a jacket potato, that's just no. I'm really, when it comes to jacket potatoes, I'm boring. I'm that person who you don't take out to a jacket potato shop. Because number one, I don't eat the skins. I just scrape out the insides. Like, just pure cannibal. Just the insides I do. The skin can stand outside. You can give it to a scary man called Dave or something. But then, with me, it's just put butter and cheese on it. I'm fine. I don't really go for the whole jacket potato thing. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's just there. Good for you. Have fun with your fishy breath. You know, it's not the greatest smell. And people really, just breathe on everybody. Everybody really enjoys smelling like a tuna sandwich or a fish. Right? No, just don't breathe on anybody. Brush your teeth afterwards because it's disgusting. It's like all those people that eat like chili con carne and then they breathe on you like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to smell it for a second time. I'm all good. You can enjoy it and be happy. Just don't breathe on everybody afterwards. It's a bit like eating a doner kebab at like 2 o'clock in the morning, passing out and then waking up and going, and you can smell it afterwards as well. It's the worst thing ever. It's gross. And I'm not saying that just for messing around. I genuinely, that's just my opinion on it. It's not good. I wouldn't know what that's like. Okay, so here's the thing for you. What you do is you get somebody else to eat tuna, right? So I'm going to assume your mum's going to have something, or your dad, or whoever's around. They're going to eat a tuna sandwich or tuna whatever. Now, what you want to do afterwards is get them to breathe on you. Just go on you and then realise what you smell like. It's a bit like when people smell. Like and they smoke cigarettes. You can smell it on their clothing, you can smell it on their breath. It's that one thing that you sit there and just go, you're a smoker. And it's a really hard smell to get rid of unless you clean up. Yeah, I can't eat that. That's not me. And if you like tuna, I'm not saying like you can't like tuna. I'm just saying just don't breathe on people afterwards. It's smelly. What food do I like? Everything that's pretty much bad for me. I'm a really fussy person for food. The reason why I'm fussy is because I have this problem with like texturing. I just don't like it. It's not for me. So I'm quite a boring person when it comes to food. So I just tend not to eat as much now. Like, especially because when I had my health check like last month, and it was like when they took my blood pressure, this, that, and the other, and he was all like, well, your blood sugars are fine, this, that, and the other, but you do need to start looking after yourself. I was like, why? He goes, well, because it looks like if you carried on this route, you would probably be diabetic by the time you're 60. I'm like, right, okay. So I'm probably gonna have to start cut down on a lot of things now. So that just becomes, my world just becomes more boring, and I'm all right with that because I'm quite a simple person. I can eat the same thing over and over again for my entire life, and it doesn't bother me. You know, so I'm all right with it. So favorite stuff would be like everything that's bad for you is probably the stuff I like. Let's put it this way, my kids are quite fussy and they don't really eat. I've tried to get them to eat pizza. I don't know why, for some reason they don't like cheese. Well, Logan does, but then he doesn't like pizza, even though it's got cheese on it. I don't know, it might just be the tomato, I don't know. So I bought these 2 mini pizzas, and obviously they weren't going to get eaten by my kids. So I took both the mini pizzas. They're only those little 7-inch ones, right? So I took both the little 7-inch pizzas, cooked them, and then stuck them together and had a sandwich. And that's why I'm fat. So but it was that one thing. It was like they're either going to go out of date or I'm going to have to eat them. So unfortunately, I ate them. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Welcome. We've got to refuel this in a minute. I love those pizzas. I eat them. Yeah, well, the problem is they're not very good. They're crap. They're just basically the bare minimum of ingredients you can put on them, and then that's it. So they're not brilliant. New to your streams, but I'm loving it so far. Ah, that's cool. Basically, I tend to speak my mind. My filter button doesn't really work, and I play sim games. Well, I play mining games now on this one, and like base building and that sort of thing. Hey Hybrid, love your videos. Excellent. There's going to be a video coming up for you in the next, I want to say in the next week or two. I've got to edit it through and make sure it makes sense. It's basically explaining the joys of what's happening on the channel. The Chicago Town pizzas. No, these are the worst ones. These are like the ones you can get in like Morrison's, where they're the saver ones. The like 7-inch ones that don't look like they've got a lot on them. The Chicago Town ones you're talking about are the deep pan ones. You can't put them together and have a sandwich. And they're less than 7 inches. If you go into a chilled section in a supermarket, you'll find like the fresh pizzas. The little crappy saver ones. Yeah, those ones. Me personally, I prefer, and it sounds weird, but if you go to, hello Mr. Games, if you go to like an Iceland or a food warehouse, you can get like their own stuffed crust ones. They're really good for the price. They're really good. Morrison's do their own stuffed crust ones. They're really nice as well. But then when you buy like the meal deal, which is like buy 3 items for £10, don't buy those pizza. Those pizzas are shite. But yeah, my whole thing now is I've basically the food that I've got to eat now is more. I've got to just cut down on stuff. So let's say if I have an unhealthy day, for me an unhealthy day would be like a bacon baguette, and then I would just eat normally afterwards. That to me is sort of like an unhealthy day. So what I would do the next day is I have to be a lot more better. So I would have like a ham and lettuce sandwich. More boring stuff, but it looks after me a bit more. Our local Tesco has a decent size, decent testing pizza. Tasting it for 90p. For 90p. Ooh. Yeah, it's probably the sort of one that I'd turn into a sandwich. But for 90p, that's risky. Unless it's the frozen one, but then they're pretty standard. But I wouldn't buy Chicago Town pizzas. The main reason for me not buying a Chicago Town is because they're just too expensive. For what they are, there's not really anything in them to make me go, ooh, I really want one. Right, I need to refuel. Beep, beep. Hello, oh, Razak. How you doing? Oi, oi, Savaloy. Claus, how was your trip to London yesterday, mate? I think this is the one I'm going to be using a lot more of, so I might as well just keep this one. Wet and windy. Yeah, it hasn't been very nice down here. For lunch at my nan's house, it's always Chicago Town or a pot noodle. Yeah, so if someone buys me one, I'm not going to complain. But me myself, a Chicago Town pizza's like, they're really expensive compared to like even Pizza Express or something else. I wouldn't even eat Pizza Express. It's just too poncy. Not a big fan of it. We got a place up the road that does stone bake actual like ovened pizzas as a takeaway. They're all right. I mean, they're not cheap, but if you're treating yourself to a decent pizza, that one's all right. £1.20 for two. Yeah, for 2 minis, but they're not even. The problem with those mini ones is they're only like, they're not very big. Pizza for me is a meal. I'll have a whole pizza. Again, that's why I'm fat. You just inhale them. Yeah, well, yeah, the little ones. You're just like, they're done. What? It's finished, but it can't be finished. Yeah, it finished. I mean, if I was going to buy like the two little mini pizzas, like the Chicago Town ones, I'd buy 2 mini pizzas and some fries to go. Quick dinner, done, dusted. Yeah, but that's because Shaq's a monster. That man is huge. I saw his trainers in Sports Direct. They actually look pretty solid. Like, he's made them very affordable for like he made a specific line of trainers for the average person to be able to afford that aren't really ripping you off. Genuinely, I almost bought a pair because they looked really good and they were really high quality. And it's like for a company that's basically making shoes, yeah, it's good. Hold on, I've got to answer this one. That's a big message. Give me a second. Entangleable Dioxum. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion to your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient order management panel, chat panel, everything in your heads. Turn it to custom on off customize, or go to streamrise.com. Fuck off. Simple. I don't care if I'm swearing. You don't come onto somebody's poxy channel and start advertising your wares like a cheap whore. Smeg off. Go away. Get a bloody life. I think I made myself clear. Okay. Well, I deleted the comment. Unfortunately, I need a moderator on Twitch, or just somebody who just hangs around who wants to be on Twitch as well. All right, who wants to volunteer being a Twitch moderator? I mean, it's basically all you have to do is you just come onto the stream and just watch as normal and be happy, but you get special powers in order to get rid of bots and stuff like that. It gives you a little bit of like, yeah, Promethean. I don't mind if you want to be a Twitch mod. That's cool. Yeah, just go over to Twitch and I'll have to add you up. Just send a message in Twitch chat now, and I'll deal with it. It's just like I said, it's just one of those things. You just have to go okay, and then you know, just watch it through Twitch. You can talk on YouTube as well. You just pop the chat out. I would, but I don't have Twitch on my phone. You're watching on a phone. You need a computer. Use your computer. Be happy. I know you can't. You probably. Yeah, that's right. Hold up, mate. This is not the Vietnam War. I'm not holding up. My dad's working at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. Claus subscribed as tier 1. They've subscribed for 3 months. Currently on a 3-month streak. Boom! Claus, you're a legend. Thank you very much, matey. How close are you on the leaderboards? I'm in the high 30s. As of right now, I am 14th. Seasonal gold, I'm 20th. But I'm not. I know I want to do this, but I don't want to do it at the same time. I wasn't going to do a cleanup until tomorrow night. I was just going to keep digging and keep going. So I don't know if I could do a cleanup now. Yeah, it's cool, man. Right. No, don't ban Promethean gaming. That's bloody stupid. Manage suspicious user. Yeah, well, he is a bit suspicious. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to do this through Twitch. So give me a sec. Dude. Invite. Oh no, don't invite him. I don't know. I'm not streaming with him. No. Right. Mod. There we go. Yeah, that's cool, man. I was pushing every button going. It's fine. But I can see your entire message. I like that. I think I like that about Twitch. Like being able to like look into like everything is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to pop my chat out again. Oh, bums. Right. Pop out chat. Grab my address. Go to docs. Custom browser. Stick on that. Oh. Can I just pop up in here? No, I can't. I've got rid of my Twitch chat. Actually, yeah, we'll get rid of that again. T. Boom. Apply. There we go. Fantastic. Right. This is me doing stuff on the fly, which doesn't always work. Go in hole. That's what she said. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Like, docking stuff in OBS sucks. Really does. There we go. Hey. Right, I'm all good now. Have you ever been to Comic Con? No. It's too expensive. I don't like Comic Con for me. I was looking at the prices for there's one coming up, and it was to get me and the kids and Kerry there. It was going to cost us about 200 quid in tickets alone, and then I guarantee it'll be really expensive on food because it's at a convention centre or it's in a big place. 15-20 quid for Comic Con. Yeah, when you got a family and you're young. It's cheap for you. For me, it's like 40 quid to go, and that's just for me. Right, 40 quid for me, and then it's like 40 quid for Kerry, and then it's 20 quid each for the kids. So that's a bit of money. And then when it comes to food, my kids will just be like, I don't want this, I want that instead, and then they scream and cry at me. And then I have to deal with thousands of people, or hundreds of people, or thousands of people. And I'm sitting there just going, you know what? I just can't be bothered. It's sort of the reason why I want to go back to doing music festivals, but I don't want to go back. And it's because I had a really good time at music festivals, and I was fine, and it was fun. But then, if I look at it now, I've got to deal with every single one of those little pukes that is going to be like, hey, look at me, I'm Wellard, I'm 20, I'm 18 years old, I'm drinking, man. Yeah, like everybody else has ever been to this festival. So you're not special. And then, because I'm basically an old man now, compared to them, all I would do is just complain about how much of a prick everybody else is. So there's no point in me going to these things anymore. They do it because they know they can... Yeah, so it's just that one thing. Yeah, so going to Comic Con would be like it would be a fun experience. You know, the kids would be able to see all this stuff and everything. But just going to one is expensive. Like even just going to the shops, you know that the shops are going to be partially expensive because all the stall owners are going to be like, yeah. But all the shop owners are going to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, I can charge you like 25 quid for this pop figure, even though in a shop they're selling it for 12. And that's when it gets expensive. All of the stuff there is like super expensive because it's a very, very, you know, setting up a stall isn't cheap. So they have to make their money back. They're selling comic books and stuff. I don't really collect comic books. I have the odd pop figure, but most of the stuff they would sell at the Comic Con, I don't really need or want. Also, my kids will destroy. So I can't own anything nice. It's why I don't have discs. It's why I don't have DVDs. I don't have CDs. Or I have CDs, but they're in the car. They don't touch them. I don't have anything really of like physical value apart from my computer and my PlayStation because my kids are destroyers. If you give them a piece of paper, they will eat it. That sort of thing. You'll be the Thule equivalent in the Comic Con. Yeah, sort of, but like for me, it's more. If I wanted to go to a conference now, it would be a how to build a social media platform, that sort of thing. You're going to go with your Dalek. Well, that's fine, but the thing is you're 13. You'll be all right there because you've got more sense than my 7-year-old child. My 7-year-old child, if he went to Comic-Con, I would lose him. He runs off quite a lot. My 5-year-old, I would be surprised if I came home with him, because I would have no idea where he would go. And then Kerry, whilst we're there, would probably have problems with like walking, which she does. So not only do I have to think about food and everything for the kids, I have to figure out what Kerry can actually do for that day, because looking after her is you play it by ear. She's either having a good day or a bad day. If she's having a bad day, she ain't walking very far. If she's having a good day, we'll go out. Stick an air tag on the kid. I have been tempted. But yeah, I even when I've gone out shopping, it's like I've got to do something with his clothes. I've got to put a tag on him or something. Comic-Con Wales last year was fun. I met Johnny Five, 4 of the Doctors from Doctor Who, River Song, and AK. Cool. Yeah, I've never been to a Comic-Con, mainly just because I've worked most of my life, so I never had the time. And when I was a kid, we couldn't afford it. Mate, we were lucky if we went on holiday. K9 is a robot from Doctor Who. It's like a giant model of a dog. Just a big, triangle thing. Oh, give me a sec. I'll pull up a picture. So, if you were ever into like cult classic television, like Doctor Who style, this is what you would have seen. That's K9. It was in the like earlier years of Doctor Who. Can't go to them type of things. I would not be very nice to people. That's my problem now. Like, I've done my socializing in my life. You know, I was in the clubbing scene for years. I DJ'd it. I listened to loads of people's like drama and crap, and it got to a point where I was now, like even now, I'm okay with not going out anymore. I'm okay with not really socializing anymore. And I know people just go, well, it's a bit of a boring life. It's like, but I've already led most of my life. Like when I was social and everything else, I've been out, I've got drunk, my stories in my head are like, they're really fun, that sort of thing. I'm now one of those that like, I don't really want to go out much anymore. I don't really care for like the social side of anything. I don't mind talking to like close friends, but I don't really want to go out and get bashed around by thousands of people anymore. I did enough of that at Download. Like I spent like 8 to 10 years at Download Festival, getting moshed up, beaten up, you know, slammed into barriers, and having a laugh. That was what I did. But now, I'm all right. Going out costs too much. Also having to deal with the random Muppets. Random Muppets don't bother me so much because they normally steer clear of me, which is quite nice. It's because when I go out, I don't look like a hospitable person. I look like a dickhead. But, you know, I've got a giant beard, hoodie. I look a bit dodgy. Let's put it that way. So people don't normally approach me, which is quite nice. It gives me that little bit of distance between people, and I'm fine. But yeah, years ago, I was alright. I didn't mind going out. I actually liked going out and socialising and like going clubbing and just having a laugh. But I think it's just because I spent years doing it. I don't want to do it anymore. You're going to Ninja Warrior in a week, but I mainly enjoy it because I'm young. Yeah, I mean, I would go to something like Ninja Warrior because Ninja Warrior is quite cool. And I'm a big fan of parkour. I watch a lot of parkour on YouTube. So I watch like Dom Tomato, the Stora Boys, Team Fat. They're really good. I watch Verxy. If you ever watch like anything to do with parkour, these are the guys that you should watch. Team Fat are really cool. Stora, I would say like Stora, like the granddads now. Unfortunately, I'm getting older, so they're not doing as much parkour. But the stuff they do is still pretty cool. That was something that I should have done. I could have done years and years and years ago, but I know it was never a big thing, so everyone just thought you were crazy. To quote Michael Stott, hardcore parkour. No, just watch parkour. You'll watch the bit in The Office. It's like okay, and then if you actually watch it, it's a lot of athleticism. I mean, if you think Ninja Warrior is like the skin on top of parkour. have you watched anything to do with Dom Tomato? Give me a sec. I'll see if I can find like a short of his, because Dom's crazy. Has he got any shorts? He does have shorts. So Dom, let me just bring this up. This is Dom Tomato. Dom Tomato is he's parkour. So this is the sort of thing Dom does. I love this stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. So I watch a lot of parkour stuff now. It's only been in the last sort of like 2 years I really sort of got into just watching it. But there's some really, really talented people who do it. So it's just one of the things I watch. And if you want to watch Ninja Warrior, some of the people that have like been in Ninja Warrior, like Tim Champion, he's in parkour. Toby Seeger, he's one of the Stora group. Then you've got Joe. Is his last name Stecciani? I can't remember his last name now, but he's part of like Dom's group, and he's one of the actual ninjas who chases people down. So yeah, if you watch Ninja Warrior, then watching anything to do with parkour is like the next evolution of like looking into that free running and parkour stuff, which is what I enjoy watching it. I'm too old to do it myself now, but like my knees just wouldn't be able to cope, and I'm like not very thin. So the Ninja Warrior places where you can go and run and jump obstacles. Yeah, well they're training you for it's basically a training facility for parkour and free running. That's what Ninja Warrior really is. If you look at it, like if you look at how all the obstacle courses are set up, just think of them as like actual obstacle courses in real life. Of like, you know, climbing up a building or sliding down a pipe or this and that. That's what they do on the streets. So Ninja Warrior is like taking it from the street and sort of pushing it through to, you know, going into like mainstream. But Ninja Warrior does come from Japan. And if you ever watched the original Ninja Warriors, they were crazy. The mushroom jump, well, that could just be like jumping onto a lamppost. Being able to hold on for that long, you need the strength, so you have to be you're training your arms all the time. But yeah, watch the original series, the original Japanese show of like Ninja Warrior. Those people, they were doing it before everybody, and they did it without real safety gear as well. Like I don't remember much being padded. But it's a good way of getting kids away from looking at phones all the time. And because it's popular, lots of people are doing it, which is good. I support it wholeheartedly, I really do, because it gets people away from, well, their phones. Even if it's for an hour or so, you're still doing something that's not just sitting around. As in, you feel like Mario hopping mushrooms, shapes, platforms. Yeah. Look at the Woodward facility in America, which was set up mainly for skateboarding, but now they have skateboarding, blading. They do their own parkour camps up there as well. And Red Bull got involved, and then he went a little bit more mainstream. Dom Tomato is sponsored by Red Bull just to do parkour. So all he does, he spends most of his time going to competitions and promoting parkour through Red Bull and gets paid for it. He leads a good life now. But his jumps are insane. If you look at the way he's like, if you look at his body when he's done a couple of jumps, he's got like these little air pockets in his skin. It basically stops him getting hurt as much. but he still gets hurt. But it's the air pockets in under his skin, like they act as cushions. And he said it's just a rare condition that he has it, and it just helps. What are the skates for? What are the skates? Huh? Skates. Claus is raiding with a party of one. Welcome. Okay, so we've done 5 truckfuls. I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. If I'm going to be brutally honest. I think they're called free skates. Oh, do you mean the ones that just clip onto your bottom of your shoes? Oh, they got little platforms. Give me a sec. These. Is that what you're talking about? I'm going to assume yes. Yeah, okay, so the way I understand them, and this comes from somebody who hasn't rollerbladed for 15 years. So the way I understand them is they were trying to find a way of changing like the scene. So instead of just having a skateboard or a pair of skates, they were trying to make it so you had ability of just taking something smaller around, so you didn't have to rely on a whole skateboard. It's only until time will tell if it's a good one, but the problem with like free skates is you can't really do tricks on them because you haven't got any physical anything to do. I mean, there's still going to be people who are going to be like spinning around on them and maybe doing the odd jump or so, but you've got no way keeping the skates attached to your feet, so they're not roller skates. You haven't got a lot of space to mess up on, so they can't be a skateboard. Because if you, with a skateboard, you use the whole board to do tricks, you know, from an ollie to a nollie to, you know, going like mungo to doing any sort of like hard flip or any flip at all. You have to use different parts of the board to flip your board in different directions. Rollerblades are, because they're attached to your feet, you're pulling your legs apart and doing in different shapes, which is a trick. Free skates are literally just like the trucks of a skateboard, which is confusing because now you've got no way of holding onto a whole board. Yeah, so what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of people spinning, mainly. Because I would actually, at this point, I would respect people who do scooters more than I would respect people who do free skates. Free skates, to me, I mean, they seem like a really bad idea. No, I'm okay. I guarantee it will just be a fad. Like no one will be doing it in a couple of years' time, because the tricks will be too hard to do. Health and safety hazard, not as much as like those hoverboards. Hoverboards were real flipping dangerous. I'll say hoverboards. They were basically segways, just without a pole on them. But I guarantee they'll just be a fad thing. No one will. They're like Heelys. You know, Heelys were a fad. No one really cares about them. It's like, yeah, cool, got a wheel on my shoe. Fantastic. But yeah, free skates. No, I don't see them being a thing. Not for a long time. I need to buy a hoverboard. No, you don't. No, just buy a radio-controlled car and make a Dalek out of it. If you've got a 3D printer or know somebody with a 3D printer, build a 3D printed like Dalek, right, and attach it to a radio-controlled car. You don't need a hoverboard for it because you can't control a hoverboard. They work on like if you lean forwards, if you lean backwards, if you do this. Bloody OBS lost a 3 hour of recording. Did it just save in a different place? OBS to me has never lost anything unless I've shut it down too soon. I have a life-size Dalek in my room and I need a way to move it. They work like tank steering. Get a mobility scooter. You can get them off of like Facebook, cheap. Some have app control. Oh. I suppose they were trying to go for like the whole electric skateboard thing before like booster boards went out of business. So a mobility scooter is too big, right? So you need something a little bit smaller. You can get like radio controlled car kits. Or you just go down the old school route of doing what Robot Wars did. You just build a chassis and put some wheels on it. And then just use a remote control antenna. Well, yeah, exactly. You'd be Davros if you went down like the mobility. Well, no, you wouldn't anymore because Davros isn't in a wheelchair anymore. Sorry, he's not in his life support unit anymore because it's an evil disabled person. Russell T Davies changed that. You're not allowed that anymore. That's bad. They were feeling uneasy about that. You're not allowed to say that anymore. That's disrespectful to disabled people. That's exactly what Russell T Davies said, and that's why Davros now walks around on 2 legs. That he's probably borrowing. Screw Russell T. Do you know what the T stands for in his name? God, if people know this, it's all good. But do you know why he has a T in his name? Russell T Davies. Do you know why it's a T? I learnt this literally yesterday, so it was new to me. Yep. It was on the UK version of Jeopardy. Stephen Fry hosts it. It's awesome. And those people are now Googling it, I know. Well, the way that Robot Wars would do it is if you needed to build a platform, you would build something to the right size. You get a couple of like mobility car batteries, and then you go to Star Trek fan. No. Yeah, probably. So here's the answer. The T in Russell T Davies' name means nothing. The reason why he has a T in his name... Oh, yeah, cheers. The reason why he has a T in his name is because someone else is called Russell Davies. So the only way that he could be defined from another writer was he put a T in his name. And that's the entire reason. And that was on Jeopardy. See, I learned something. Oh, also, you've got to tell Logan that his middle name is not John. Have a look. Where's his reading? Yeah, it's on his reading thing. I'm like, dude, your middle name's not John. Hoverboard works like tank steering and is powerful enough and nearly compact, to be honest. Alright. Well, that's up to you then. But I just wouldn't bother with a hoverboard. But that is my own bias. I just don't like them. You can get. I don't know if you might be able to get an electric scooter cheaper, and just strip it down and make a base for it. Well, I suppose then you have to be on it. Are we still on? Oh, I know what I haven't done this morning. Oh, we didn't put snip on. Snip. Run the app. You're not going to run, are you? Or it is, but it's behind this. No. Hey, and it's not working. There we go. It's just so I know where the music is, mainly. Because as soon as it looks like it's playing someone else's music, I literally have to change the playlist again. But I don't know if I've put it on loop or not. We've been making the gun for the Dalek, and it's literally made of a ball. Yeah. 3D printed bits, some brass tubing, and certain. Yeah. It's just. It wasn't even a high tech thing back then. I think it was a tennis ball on a stick. Don't bother buying mobility devices, they can be crazy expensive. Nah, you just buy a scrap one, mate. Like what you would just do is you would buy a scrap mobility scooter, take the battery off of it, build a base for whatever you're looking to push around on, and then just use it as a radio controlled car. Back in the days when Robot Wars was a big thing, these were all the little things that we used to tinker around with. I was wanting to build a robot for Robot Wars, but then I was only like 16 and I had no background in engineering and I didn't really know what to do. The most I'd ever done up to that point was built a bicycle and taken it apart again, really. Oh, and built computers, but then they were stupid back then. Bop, 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 bop. I really want to build robots. In fact, I have made a canine. I'll post on that. Yeah, that's cool, man. Combat robots are still alive and well, especially in the UK. Is it really? Because like, you know, I've never, apart from Robot Wars, never seen any of it. I used an RC Bobcat actual tracks. Nice. BattleBots. Never seen it. I suppose it's something I should look into now. There's a heavyweight show called Extreme Robots with a lot of robots from the last UK TV show. Oh, okay, I'll have a look into it. I suppose could you send us a link on Discord, and I'll go from there. I like Robot Wars. I thought it was pretty cool. There's an organisation called Bristol Bot Builders that hold a ton of events for lighter bots. Cool. We've had, I think, since I've moved here, well, since I've been here in the last sort of 20 years, I think I've seen 2 events at like a local place. It's probably just because I'm not in that little circle and I don't know what's going on. BattleBots is dreadful compared to what Robot was. Yeah, but that's the thing. Robot Wars was funded properly. And it was on the BBC. They needed that to be a flagship show. Because that's how BBC work. We need this to bring in viewers. Okay, why? Well, because they pay for a TV license, so they've got to be entertained. Right. Right, the reason why that's going to go, it's going to get a bit edgy. It's because I want to dig out this bit first and then park my truck here. It's fun. Fun for the whole family. BattleBots has changed significantly with the reboot of 2015. Like I said, I mean, the only thing I used to watch was Robot Wars, because it was the only thing that was ever advertised on TV. I think I can get, if I want to watch the American one, they've got that on Netflix now, but that's literally about it. Right, need to go and fill up my Franks. Because apparently they're running out again. Bloody thirsty monsters. They're at the point they're smacking the bots against the ceiling now. Wow. Every bot is Hypnodisc with 1,000 times the power. Yeah. I liked... What was the one that came on? What was his name? Can't remember it now. Oh, Hypnodisc was good. The reason why everyone's a Hypnodisc is because it was a proven model. It worked. What was the one that was on Robot Wars in the last sort of season that just sounded like death warming up? Oh, it didn't go in. Carbide, that's one, yeah. Carbide's a good one. I like Carbide. Every bot has a death hum now. Yeah, it's because the motors they're more powerful. Okay, we're a bucket and a half away. The same team that has an incredibly destructive bot in BattleBots as well now. Alright, cool. I mean, I'll look into BattleBots then. Cheers for the recommendations. Right. I actually can't. I think these ones actually do have gold in them. I just can't remember which ones I've highlighted. So I'm digging this. Alright, yeah, that's got some of it. We're all good. I think Michael Reeves did BattleBot stuff, or William Rosamond. Yeah. I've joined the Discord. When the stream is done, I'll post some stuff there. Yeah, cheers, man. Most appreciated. Stream will be done. What's the time now? 12:30. I normally go for like during the day. I go between like 3 and 5 hours. We're up to 2 hours now. I've almost. You know what? I'll do a clean up after this. The reason why is because I think it'll be all right. And I've got to dig out this square as well. So all of this that you can see is now going to the back of this truck. This was the time I woke up yesterday. Yeah, man, you slept in. All that day you wasted. If you're on half term, sleep in. I try and get my kids to sleep in. They just don't listen. Like since they came home on the 28th, was it no 27th? Because I was it the 27th I came home? No, I did come home on the 28th, didn't I? I came home on the 28th. Since then, my kids they've been up since they get up at 4:30, 5 now, and that was killing me. So yeah, if you're on half term, sleep in. Take advantage of the fact you don't have to get up too early. Early bird, yeah, no, they are. So the worst part is you know when I'm streaming on a Saturday and I stream till like 11:30, 12, I've normally been up since 5 that morning. Normally. Most of the time, like I'll try and keep them going back to bed and stuff, but like 5:30 in the morning, and then I'm up until midnight that same day, and it's always the same. The worst part is I can't go to sleep early. I've tried, and I just lay there. Good afternoon. Hope the week has been full of plunder. Yeah, it's been all right. My neck's still a bit twingy, but I'll be all right. It's all right this side, but that side's locked up more, so it needs like a couple more days of just bending, unfortunately. I can't go to sleep early. Well, you're young still. You might. There is an actual condition where you don't need to sleep as much. I think it's just called short sleep syndrome. Basically, people who have it, normally they only sleep for like 5-6 hours a day. That's been me. So I'm one of those people. I'm alright with that. It's just as you get older, you feel it a little bit more each time. Sleep apnea? No. Sleep apnea is like you need a face mask because every time you can stop breathing in your sleep. Did I fill the other Franks up? Yeah, I did. Oh. Is that your wife sitting next to you? No, my wife sits on the other side of the living room. Why is that on a different layer? Where's my camera? That's tip jar. Trying to figure out why my nameplate's disappeared. Oh, it's because I don't have one. Right. Does that mean that means I turned something off? I'm an idiot. I'm a potato. I'm a potato. You're an idiot sandwich. Yeah, so I take up 1/6 of the living room. The rest of the living room is literally for my kids and my wife. And then I sit in a corner like a gnome most days. I either create videos, or I'm live streaming, or watching the Y-Files, or watching something on YouTube. It's normally about it. I've been watching the second Doctor now, and I've gotten to the reconstruction episode, which means it's just the audio and snapshots of the episode, so kind of like 3 frames a minute. Oh. At least I tried to put it all back together. It's painful. Well, it's the joys of like losing footage. The plus side to like archiving it on now like YouTube or cloud storage and stuff is that it can be around forever as long as the storage doesn't disappear. The BBC are quite brilliant at reusing the original tapes. Yeah. Yeah, but even that, it's like BBC iPlayer itself is basically a cloud. It's a server storage for them. The worst part being is if, let's say, their servers decide to have a hissy fit and lose all the data, you've just lost like 100 years worth of footage. So I just hope they've got it all backed up. I know they're the BBC, but it's still one of those things you have to like scream about when things go wrong. The servers like iPlayer has redundant storage like caches in multiple places, so, well, you never know. Could be that one day where everything turns off completely around the world. Like the end of the world. Well, I mean, in order for the BBC to have it like catastrophe, is basically stop paying everybody's TV license. That'll stop it. EMP, yeah, that could be a thing. That could knock out everything. That's why I decided to buy all of the Doctor Who's on DVD, so I can never lose it. How would you play it when you have no DVD player left? Just think of the worst case scenario, and it could probably happen. And then you sit there going, buttocks. PS3's only got a limited life though, man. If the house burns down, yeah, that's a pretty bad time. And that could happen just randomly, you know, like something could just short out. Oh, so close. I think when that lot goes through, I think that's the last lot before it changes over to the last section. Water source has dried up. Oh no. Easy. I buy all the DVDs and rip them onto a USB drive as well. Well, that's it. So this is the thing that you have to take into consideration. Not all storage is permanent. So I've had 2 external hard drives since I came up to all of this. In my old PC, I had an external hard drive so I could drop everything onto here when we moved. So that was a long time ago. That hard drive started to basically crap up, and I was like, I have to literally back up everything now. So I had to buy another external hard drive, and then that's where I keep all my stuff on. And I know at some point in the next sort of I don't know, 4 to 5 years or so, it'll probably start crapping out again. So I'll have to buy another one. They just have limited lives. It sucks. But that's just the joys of digital data. Until you spill something on the disc, yeah. EMP kills all. Yep. Okay, so we're down to the last one now. So 5 buckets. Or 5 trucks, not buckets. I was going to say 5 buckets. We can do this well fast. No, 5 trucks. And we can do we'll do a cleanup. So it normally takes me about 3 hours to do all of this. We're looking at 2 hours right now. Fill it up 1. Give me another 40 minutes, basically. And we'll go from there. And then what I will do today is I'll just keep going. And then when I come on tomorrow, I don't know where I'll be. I might be halfway through this claim, or I might just be like, I've reset again. We're gonna go for it again. Because I literally, from where I'm sitting on here, the row here, this row is the last row that I've got to do. So all of this and everything on the other side is what I'm aiming for. Save all the data to a USB sonic screwdriver. It's a good idea. The downside is, as Noxstream said, EMP kills everything. Last one. Well, 4 more, 4.5 more, depending what's left over there. I'll have to go and check quick. Unless you have a Faraday cage. Yeah, I thought Faraday cages were just a way of just blocking out signals. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. Okay, so there's 10% there. We just need, I think it's literally, we just need 5 trucks. I don't need to deal with the last 10% because it's already in there. Optical works. Fair enough. CDs and DVDs, they sort of, I mean, I can, if I've still got my old CD stuff from my DJing days, some of those I don't think work anymore because things spill. Because basically, so I didn't use up all of my all of my good copies, I burnt every single CD I had at the time, because I was like, I need to. I'm not taking my official stuff to a fucking club. All my stuff will be it'll be ruined or stolen. So I ripped every single CD I owned because of it, and I think I still own the whole collection. I think they're in a cupboard. If they are, I had one of those like giant wallets of just CDs, and I knew most of the I knew most of the album listings because they're like my collection. But then it was like being able to like recite that when you were at like someone's shouting in your ear, "Have you got this, mate?" It's like, yeah, actually I do. 200 DVDs, you part timer. Time to dig a cave. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Dig a cave, stick everything in it, leave it alone. Be all good. If you want loads and loads of DVDs, CX sell DVDs for 50p. Or actually, well, according to the advert, they're called CX. But then if you go to an actual shop, it's CEX. So I don't understand why it's different on the advert and not like in store. Bootfair's a good place to get DVDs from. eBay, you can almost get like bundles from there. They've bought them up to £1. No, my dad still buys them for 50p. He still buys 50p DVDs. But they are like real budget stuff. Well, all we got to do is just wait for the next like major catastrophe in the world, and then everything disappears, and then the world resets again. That's what's happened before. That's it. That's if you believe in the whole like reincarnation of the world. Good day, sir. Things are going well. Yeah, things are going alright, mate. I'm 4 trucks away from doing a clean up, so well, I've dug all this out this morning. They stopped selling them at 50p. Maybe it's depending where you live, because my dad, living in Wales, still gets a few of them 50p. It might just be a localized thing, or depending on how much they have in stock. Because if they've got like 3,000 copies of like American Pie, they probably want to get rid of them all. So they're probably doing them for cheaper. Yeah. It probably does come down to a stock thing. But I'm on the lookout for a specific PlayStation game next year. It's a very, very rare game. I saw it on eBay. I just went, wow. Yeah, if I ever find a copy of this at a boot fair, I will party like it's like 1999. I think it's called Cindy's Fashion World. It's a really, really strange one, right? But they made a very limited run of the game, and now it's worth like £1,000 for the game itself. It is ridiculous. I'll see if I can find it. Give me a sec. eBay. Is it Cindy's Fashion World? Yes. Let me just look for like ended listings, because then I'll be able to find it better. Sold items. Spell fashion properly and search. There you go. Right. If you ever find this game at a boot fair, jumble sale, charity shop, buy it. 850 quid for Cindy's Fashion World. And there was literally just one of them. And that was it. Just one. I was like, Jesus. So yeah, the reason why it's so rare is because it went, I think there was only like 500 copies of the game ever sold. Ever. So it's very, very limited. Very, very. If you ever find a copy of it, treasure it. But don't even get, even if it costs you £100 from some strange man from like Ipswich, right? Buy it and then go and sell it on eBay. It'll be ridiculously good for you. What do you think about Matt Lucas? I've never had a problem with Matt Lucas. He was entertaining on Shooting Stars. I liked him in Little Britain. I don't care if people find him offensive because of his humour that he had on Little Britain. I genuinely, he's an alright actor, you know. I can't remember. Do you think the pyramids were or are power generators or something? It's a good story. I like the idea that the pyramids were around before the Egyptians as well. So, if you don't know what he's talking about, the pyramids have a specific where they're built on an underwater. They're on top of an underground aquifer, and there have been signs inside the actual pyramids that there are like nuclear burns, or there are burns inside, which wouldn't happen on normal stone. And the idea is that they were actually part of a nuclear reactor system, and it's very strange, but I think it's just going to be one of those open-ended like theories until it ever happens. He's the only guy in the village. Mathanway. Yeah, I don't mind. Matt Lucas is alright. I haven't got a problem with him at all. There are also no glyphs inside the pyramid. I know, they're all in the burial chambers. I think there are actually glyphs on top of the pyramid, because someone flew a drone over the pyramids and they actually saw hieroglyphs on top, like right on top. Ben, go and check it all out, mate. It's one of those things that when you deep dive into it, you do start thinking, because the way that Tesla started building some of his generators were over underground aquifers, and he was using a very similar sort of structure to a pyramid. Yeah, the pyramid. There is that whole thing that the pyramids were older than the Egyptians. The Egyptians just turned up and they were like already there. So that is a theory as well. The thing is once you start looking into these things and people start reading into it more, and then more research goes into it, you start to... something seems a bit skew-whiff. I'm open to the idea that they were used like that. So until someone proves me wrong, or proves that theory wrong, then yeah, it's viable. But this is where like the whole reincarnation of the world things comes to play. You know, there are things on this planet that are older than what we were told, or what we knew of, and then we're finding them and they're like older than what we really knew. I think they were. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's a viable theory until someone proves it wrong. But the more conspiracy theories come up, and then all of those theories come to actually like reality, and they're like, actually that's more making sense, and then things start proven right, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'll go and watch the Y-Files, because AJ does an amazing job of telling stories. There's obviously there are bits on there that he says, you know, a lot. It's just a good story, but then some of it is out for the audience. It's like, you make your choice. Is this a valid thing? My favourite story he's done was Mel's Hole. Mel's Hole was an amazing story, and I like that. I like the story. It's pretty cool. Or the guy who could time travel. That was really good. There you go. Go and check out that channel, the Wi-Files. He covers basically myth, conspiracy, and everything, and just tells a really good story. Gives you something to think about. Some of it might be real, some of it might not be, some of it might just be fan fiction made up, but it's a good story nonetheless. Like today's episode was really good. It was all about when they were using projectionists to go through the like the 80s, and they were trying to find like different coordinates around the Earth of like what may be happening in Russia and everything, and then they were stuck on like certain mountains of the planet that don't make sense. That was a good one. What's the X-Files? The X-Files was a TV show back in the 1990s. Starred. It was basically Mulder and Scully, and they were doing investigations into UFO technology, UFOs and aliens and this, that, and the other. But it was a TV show. But the Y-Files is a man telling stories about myth and legends and extraterrestrials and things that have happened on the planet or may not have happened on the planet, and you just draw your own conclusion of what you believe. He genuinely makes really good videos, and Hecklefish is awesome. Gillian Anderson and I can't remember who played Mulder. David Duchovny, that's the one. He was in Evolution. He was awesome in that film. Like, did they really build these crazy things, or in honor of someone? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I'm open to like some things that he talks about on there. Like he's gone through that whole idea of the pyramid thing, so he made a video on that. He makes a video on there like everything that you can think of that may be a conspiracy theory, and then some of it is like myth and legend. He'll make videos on that. Like I think he did one on Jesus, but then obviously when he does a religious video, people get a little bit funky with it, and it's like he's literally just telling you a story. You draw your own conclusions. Don't shoot the messenger, sort of thing. But he's a very sort of open-minded person when it comes to what he believes, and then he's quite, if you believe in something, then that's your choice, and that's how he sees things. So you can believe in what you like and everything else, but you can't stop people from talking about what you think is wrong or what you think is right. Everyone's allowed their own opinion. So he's a very open person when it comes to talking about certain subjects. And he knows that even if he did an episode on reincarnation, like being able to like go from one existence to another because of your soul. And he said he is one of those people who doesn't really believe in an afterlife, but he would be one of those people that if it does ever happen and you're greeted by your friends and family of past and everything else, the first thing he would say would be thank God, because then there is an extra thing above you. My first reaction to that would be, I want to talk to him or her or whatever God is, because I want to find out why things happen on this planet that shouldn't do. Sup, dude? Just search one of your Car Mechanic Sim videos. You play Gold Rush 2. I love both games. Yeah, I play Gold Rush. I play Out of Ore, Hydroneer, anything really to do with mining games. I play, because I'm changing the channel over, it's more like mining, base building, that sort of niche. My other channel will be more towards like everything else I want to do. So I haven't really decided where I want to put. If I do car mechanic again, I haven't decided where I want to put it, but it might be on this channel. So I'll go from there. Like for things that this channel is known for, I'm very much might keep them on here. I might. I know all the full history of Egyptian pyramids, and I'm willing to talk with anyone who wants the truth about them. It's all good then. I mean, I have my beliefs. Everyone has their own beliefs. You just have to find yours. My belief is that when I die, that's pretty much it. And that was the when I came close to it when I basically had a asthma attack, which was bronchitis. I couldn't breathe myself. I genuinely thought that was the end because I couldn't breathe. I was suffocating basically, and there were points of the time when I was going between consciousness and non-conscious where there was nothing there. So that's where that's it comes down to a point now. This is why when I go to a funeral, this is what I'm like. It just doesn't hit me. I've lost friends and I've just turned up and just been there. Family members done that as well. And I'm normally one of the very few people that are actually crying. I think even historians of the pyramids are those people who just, you know, they'll get to a point where they go, well, this confuses us. There are certain things in the Egyptian life that even when you've read through it enough, some of it isn't covered. I mean, I suppose you have to talk to an Egyptian who's basically studied their culture for all of their life and knows everything about it, sort of thing. Bum, 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 bum. I think this is truck number 4. I can't. Why do I keep forgetting how many trucks I've done? I think it's just because I do the same thing over and over again. I'm like, it'll happen, and then it happens, and I don't know. Where are we up? 2.5 hours? I'm nearly done then. Never considered playing Minecraft. No, not even when it was new. It's not my thing. For some reason, I just don't get on with Minecraft. I love Lego, but Minecraft for me is just not one of those things. I believe the ones saying there are massive tributes to nothing more. Yeah. I don't know. I think there might be something else behind the pyramids, but I think that's just me. Like, there's always that little glimmer of hope that there might be just something else, you know. And we will never ever find out. Right, I'm gonna go and check my gold after this because I don't know where I'm at in the cycle. It looks like it's getting full though. It's sort of orangey over there now. The problem with the documentaries is they're made on that certain line of these are the things we know, but they've never questioned anything else, sort of thing. Now you have to go and see them. No. Where are you up to? Yeah, this will be the last load. I think so. Yeah, 19% on top of 88. Yeah, this is done. Last lot. Oh, and then we'll do a clean up. It's not bad. I mean, I did a little bit before this, so 2 hours and 29 minutes. So yeah, about 3 hours. Takes me 3 hours to do 30 truckloads. Ugh. And here we are. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon once again. I've just got to wait for the dirt to come through now. When this is stopped feeding, I'll turn the conveyor bit off. We'll fill it up and we'll go from there. It's got a long way actually. I'm moving my truck back. So I don't care if I lose gold because it'll only be like a couple of percent, which wouldn't be too bad. I'm digging across the seas and I'm digging in Nighthawk and I'm digging. That's a 6-minute truck fill. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I could go faster. It's just because of where I park my truck and I dig, it takes me a little bit longer to do stuff. And it's just me. You know, 6 minutes a truck is okay. I think I'm digging at about 19, but anywhere between 1800 and 2200 yards of dirt, which is sort of slow. Darkwing 05, what up, dude? What's up, gangster? In it, bruv. Right, we'll switch this one off now, and we'll refill it. Have they run a Geiger counter in the pyramid? I think they have. I suppose you'd have to see if they've actually done that or not. Just Google it. If they've run a Geiger counter in the pyramids, then it would be on Google. My average is about 5 minutes, sometimes 5. Yeah, so I think that just comes down to the way I do things. It's a little bit slower, but I'm okay with that. You know? All I've got to do is just stop being an idiot when it comes to doing some of the things I do. I know I'm losing dirt. I'm not really worried. I know everything's full. I don't really care. I've got more than enough ground to dig. That's not going to be this much. I think I've probably lost about, out of a truckload, I've probably lost about 4% of 4% of my load, which I'm all right with that. Prom said he watched every documentary. He's better than Google. Yeah, I would Google everything, but that's just because I'm me. I wonder with all the Frankensteins, do you still need the hopper? No, you don't need it. I do. And the reasoning behind the hopper for me is I miss things and I'm not very good at lining things up, so the bigger target the better. Old Man Gaming, he flows it straight into the actual wash pump. So where you could feed it, if you want to switch your Frankensteins around, you can feed it into this section here. So you don't need this or this. You technically don't need these two. Thank you very much for becoming part of the Mosh Pit crew. Mosh Pit. So, yeah, technically you don't need the hopper and you don't need the conveyor belt because the Frankenstein feeds straight into here. So you don't need those, but because I'm one of those people, I prefer a slightly larger target to aim for. And if this fills up and I turn off the power, the hopper's still there holding on to dirt. So when you do a reset, your hopper, if it's got dirt in it, will reset with the dirt in it, and so will the actual wash plant as well. So you can use it as storage. It's just one of those things. But yeah, that's the way it is. You don't have to use it, but I do. As I said, it just comes down to me. I'm not great at doing stuff. And these are all things that I've picked up on my first. This is my first season, so these are things that I've picked up on because I watch Old Man Gaming's videos, and he's put it up on there that he doesn't use this. I mean, he sets it up, and I just think that he doesn't plug it in. So that's all just done. So yeah, you don't need it. Right, well, I think it's clean-up time, guys. I think we've got to do this. Soap, get the water. We've got to do a clean-up. Alright, Captain, let's go. Guys, get me the mats. Captain Price pays Gold Rush. Right, guys, we've got to dig. For how long, Captain? About 40 hours. Right, and then what are we doing after that? Digging some more. Alright, let's go. Do you have the time? There we go. That's one load of mats. Now I need to put the water back in because my water's dried up, which sucks balls. I've got to turn the nuggets on. Should have put this closer. Yeah, thank you very much for becoming a member. Most appreciated, Darkwing. And if you do want to be like Darkwing, get your name in green, and you want to get some funky emojis, hit the subscribe button, but most importantly, hit the join button. For as little as 99 cents a month, you can become a member of my channel and help financially support this channel. If every single person did that, where they would actually pay like 99 cents to this channel, then I would make enough money to be a full-time YouTuber. Which is pretty cool, if you think about it. But it will take a really long time for that to happen. And don't forget, I reckon it's going to be May. In May, I reckon the Hybridsteel DLC is going to come out. Help out the kids, right? Yeah, basically. Most of my money goes into, because I'm saving up for a new PC. That's what that fund is over there. So I'm saving up for a new computer, but I'm only putting a certain amount away a month. Most of my money goes into either giving it to my other half so we can pay a couple of the bills, not my bills, both of our bills, and getting stuff for the kids. Clothes and bits they might need, toys. And Christmas was fun, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's all it is. It must be a headache to convert between pounds and dollars. No, YouTube does all that. So basically what it does is their pricing done in 99 pence and cents. So if an American becomes a member at that rate, it's 99 cents. If a British person comes up, I don't even know what it is for a British person. It's probably like £1 something. But I can't remember what it set it to. So, but YouTube does all its conversion rates. I don't. I feel you, mate. Got to support the young family. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm a YouTuber, because I'm a full-time carer. I'm at home 24/7, 7 days a week, and I'm here all the time because I look. Let's play because of Kerry's mobility conditions and stuff. If she needs my help, I'm here. I'm always here. So I did this because I'm not out of the living room. If needed. I'm right here. I can make videos. I can do this. I can keep my brain ticking. That was the main reason why I did this. Over everything else I could do, YouTube was a thing that I actually like doing. I can make videos. I can live stream. I can talk, and I'm able to sort of earn some money to make things a little bit easier. If I was earning enough money to make everything easy, then I would. I read a comment on Facebook today because according to Dextro, people are now blaming content creators for ruining gaming franchises like Call of Duty. I'm like, well, it's not our fault that Call of Duty sucks now. It would be the game's developers' fault for, and now basically they're blaming content creators for the failures of games. I'm like, that just pissed me off, because it's not my fault they made a shit game. It's their fault. They decided to go, well, what we do is we'll make a 3-hour campaign and multiplayer is going to be bollocks. It's not my fault. That's your fault. Something great with 3D printers. I'm not very good with 3D printers. Guarantee I've probably got a reply on Facebook about that. Like somebody probably blaming me. It's all your fault, mate. Whatever. Oh, that was the Doctor Who one. I'll have to read that in a bit. Cheaters are ruining FPS. No, they're not. Right. So the reason why Call of Duty was being ruined is because the lack of story. So a lot of people still play Call of Duty for the story mode. I'm one of those people. I genuinely don't mind the story modes of Call of Duty games. It gives me a bit of insight to the game, the levels, and how everything is. But if you look at the new Call of Duty, which is basically an expansion pack to Modern Warfare 2, but they charged you a full price for it, every single one of the maps when it originally launched came from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So nothing new. All the characters are basically the same thing. They changed some of the storyline to change the way that people die and so on and so forth, and Soap died in a really horrendous way. Instead of like dying like a hero, he died like a, well, idiot. And then when it comes down to the casting, the story didn't make any sense for Modern Warfare 3. The multiplayer is basically being ruined by not just cheaters, but basically microtransactions in general are starting to ruin in the game again. Along with being able to buy, like, people like Nicki Minaj. Why do you want to play as Nicki Minaj in a Call of Duty game? You're there to shoot people, not dance around like a brat. So it doesn't make sense of their direction of where they're taking certain things. And that sort of like almost like modernization of like Call of Duty is ruining Call of Duty. Being able, like, the monetizing of it is ruining Call of Duty. Adding special characters into it is ruining Call of Duty. And just generally having people who are douchebags is ruining Call of Duty. But then they're basically saying that content creators, because we have a voice and we're able to like listen, we're telling the industry where to go. We ain't got a voice in that industry. The only people who have a voice in the industry are people who have a massive platform. People like Dr. Disrespect used to work for that industry, and he saw what was happening. So when it comes to believing who's talking about things, are you going to believe the guy who used to design levels for Call of Duty or the PR for Call of Duty? Your choice. Much love and support from Alaska. Welcome. Thank you very much for support all the way from Alaska. And this is my problem with the gaming industry is they don't listen to the fans, and then they're really quick to blame the fans. And the only reason why they're quick to blame the fans is because the fans are sitting there going, we don't like what you're doing, and then they have a go. It's exactly the same what happened to Marvel and Disney and Star Wars. The campaigns that have been going out through the news, like, oh, the fans are to blame, the reason why this franchise didn't work, this, that, and ever. No, it's the writing. The writing and the people who are making these things are to blame for the bad side of things. And it's the same in the gaming industry. We're now being blamed for the way that video games are going, even though we ain't done nothing to it. all we've done is voice our concerns about why the gaming industry is starting to fail. Here's the big one. Diablo. Yeah, Dr. Disrespect funded. He's done his own garbage game. It's though. Yeah, but it's his game. He can do whatever he likes. He's making it. But the difference here is that Dr. Disrespect used to work for Call of Duty. He used to be a level designer. Now, if he wants to make his own game and he wants to do his own thing, that's up to him. But when he's able to sit there and give you a viable argument of why Call of Duty is failing, he used to work there. That's why I'll listen to him over like PR from Call of Duty, because the people who make Call of Duty, because there's a few different companies that do it, genuinely you're like, if you're believing the PR, they're basically attacking the fans. This is what Disney did when everything started failing. The first thing they did was start blaming the fans for their downfall. And it's not the fans' fault, it's the fact the fans don't want to go and watch the same politically agendaed thing. Or they don't want to watch a gender swapped character, or they don't want to watch a character who's had like the their sexuality swapped. They just want to watch the character. And as from Hills versus Babyface said this right, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. He basically said, why do they have to make people like Superman gay, right? And they have to sell the idea that Superman has a homosexual side to him, when they could have just created a brand new superhero and made that part of the LGBTQ scene. He wouldn't have given a crap about that. But when you start taking an old thing and turning it into something else that doesn't agree with the law that was set out for years before it, why is this a thing and it's accepted, but it's only accepted by a very small group of people when they have the ability to create something much bigger and better for their own way of thinking? Got to use the crate for the mats, my dude? No, don't need that. I'm not going to use the mats in a crate, because that means putting them into the crate and take them out. I'm just going to do it one at a time. Well, I have to do some dumb adult stuff. Thanks for no problem, I hope you have a good day. Catch you later. I need a fuel can, because I've run out of fuel in my generator, and it's the only thing I didn't buy. Oh, the new Star Wars news, where it's a woman who's going to be making the new Star Wars film or films has no experience in the comic book world or Star Wars universe, and her first words on the red carpet were, "It's about time for women to be empowered, even though you've already been doing this." And I read her IMDb. I've never heard of a single thing she's worked on, so I have no idea why she was pulled in to do it. I'm very confused about this right now. Right, I've got to do a cleanup, so I need to move this pipe from here to here. There we go. Now we have water. Well, I should have water. It might help if this is turned on. Huh. I hate this little switch. Right, is that off? That is off. Right, okay, cool. That is on. Interesting. Have I actually run out of water? Oh, I think it's done that thing again. Apparently there's no water getting to the actual pump. The fuck? I didn't turn it off. I didn't turn it off. Oh, this is balls. Right, anyways. So that little bit was 127 ounces. Okay. She literally said she wants to make men feel uncomfortable. Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. So you're going to alienate the people who basically are the only people that want to watch Star Wars. They've done all this before. They've sat there and said, well, you know, predominantly we want like the women to come and watch it. Women, they weren't watching these shows. It was mainly men watching the shows because it's where the majority of the geek culture comes from. It's men. There are women who like it, and I haven't got a problem with them at all. Yeah, I mean, there are women out there who like Star Wars and Marvel and DC and everything else. But the majority of the geekdemonium back from the old days up until sort of recently has been predominantly men. Because that was our way to escape reality and get away from like the pressures of life. Whereas women had like a lot more of like their actual like comforts, whether you were talking to friends, you weren't as socially awkward, that sort of thing. There were women in that group as well. I'm not saying there wasn't. But what you found was that a lot of men took more solace in looking up to a superhero as a role model. You know, reading through the comic books gave you morals. It gave you, you know, a reason to sort of stand up and be yourself more. Yeah. 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 But then when you start, when it comes to Star Wars, you're taking something with the legacy of like, I mean, George Lucas made Star Wars. I mean, if it wasn't for George Lucas, someone else wouldn't have. If it was made by anybody else, I genuinely feel Star Wars wouldn't be as good. But over its time of being sort of like thrown into the Disney cycle and Kathleen Kennedy taking over Star Wars, you can see at the point of where George Lucas stopped and Kathleen Kennedy started, and it has been a very steady decline since she took over. There haven't really been many of the Star Wars stuff that's really stuck out in anybody's eyes that's made any sort of impact to anybody's life. Whereas when Star Wars first came out and Luke Skywalker was up there swishing around a lightsaber and you're like, holy crap, I want to be this man. You know, that was that one thing. And then you had a strong character in Princess Leia. So even women could sit there and just go, she is my role model. She is a strong character. And there was no, like, demasculinity about the whole thing. Everybody was on an equal playing field. Everybody was out there to kill, like, destroy the evil. Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker. Everybody was out to destroy evil. It's sort of changed now. And I agree with a lot of I agree with the people who are selling comic books. The ones that basically sit there and say, we can't sell this stuff. It doesn't move. People don't want to read this stuff. There was a guy who got he got belied about all this. And it was on Twitter. He was like, oh, this guy doesn't know nothing. He's just a sad geek, blah, blah, blah. He owned a comic book shop. Like most people who own comic book shops, they're very passionate about what they do. And if you can't sell comic books to people because you're putting too much politics inside your comic books, then you're going to have problems. You're not going to sell as much because you cannot keep up with the demand of what is needed or what is wanted. Just my thoughts, though. Right, that should be 3,000 to 4,000 ounces because we're on like a half-baked square. I had to dig down, I had to dig through a little bit of overburden on that. For me, I never really got into the whole comic book world, even though I'm the type of person that would have taken probably more solace in it, because I was one of those people who got picked on and bullied and felt socially awkward and all the joys of life. But I never really got into it. But I can see why people get into it, to have an escape from whatever's going on in your life, to have a reason to sit there and just go, I want to read this story because it makes me feel good. Nowadays, and I'm going to be brutally honest, most of the stories now, when it comes to like anything to do with Disney, Marvel, DC at some points, because Aquaman wasn't exactly great, but anything nowadays just seems to be everybody's just slapping men down and being like, oh, we don't give a fuck anymore. And it does my head in, because here we are in the 21st century. People keep screaming about equality and everything else, and here every single white man is just basically being beaten down as a punching bag, and that's what it feels like. I think that's where some of my hatred towards the modern day life comes from. It's just because it doesn't feel like we're on an equal playing field. We've basically gone in reverse, where we screwed up. Black people were pushed aside, and it's segregated from like life. And now we've sort of built it all back up, and everybody was on an equal play. About 15 years ago, everyone was on a sort of equal playing field, but now it's cool and trendy to hate white people because apparently of what we've done, even though none of us are really involved in slave trade or anything that's ever happened in the past before. And that's what annoys me now. We're all supposed to be equal, but it's okay to hate on one group of people again. So where's the equality? And that's when you should ask yourself, not so much as ask yourself, tell yourself there isn't any anymore. It's fashionable to hate people. So those people who just subscribed, thanks for coming by. Hopefully my water source will stay wet soon, but I don't think it's going to. Well, there we go. That's another clean up. 48,000. I think that puts me up to like 70. Oh, very close. Very close. I don't think I'm going to get into the top 10 somehow. Like, Old Man Gaming is a good gatekeeper. If I ever feel like I've lost hope in humanity, I just remember the quote from Bernard Cribbins. God bless the cactus. Yeah. I don't know who Bernard Cribbins is. But it's why I'm one of those people now who I watch Nerdrotic because he says what I'm thinking when it comes down to the political agendas of the world being forced into like mainstream everything. And if you listen to him talk about like the comic book world, I know people don't like Gary for his past because he was a drugged up dope head. He went to prison. That sort of thing. But if you look past of what when he came out of prison, he went into the comic book world. He found a sort of hope in the comic book world that actually sort of like changed his mindset to just be better, and that was good for him. And then he bought a comic book shop and became a member of basically the geek world. And if you listen to the way he talks about it, it's not a way. He doesn't talk about it in a hateful way. He talks about it in a passionate way of what used to be and what isn't now, and things have changed and how they're not as good anymore, because it's making people lose hope in something they've always liked. And it's like I said, I agree with the whole thing. If you want to make a trans superhero who has a part-time job as a stripper, who has a dog, living on her own, but she's got superpower, or she has superpowers, or whatever, make that superhero. Make that part of your identity. Fill the character and give that person a story. Get behind it as a full, proper project, because if you can do that, you're not just combating the hatred in the world, but you're basically giving other people the hope to be better and to make them feel like they're accepted, instead of turning something that already exists into something else. That's how I see it. I don't have a problem with trans people. I don't have a problem with anybody else. What I have a problem with is hijacking the world. And unfortunately, that's just how I see it. No, it's cool, good. It's all good, man. I'm just tidying up the loose ends now. I've done one cleanup. We're at 48,490. But it's just, yeah. I think I'm nearly done because I'm getting hungry. I'm actually getting hungry. I think it's because I feel a bit cold today, and I think it's because the weather changed. It's now made like the whole air fresher, and I'm genuinely just like, yeah, I can feel it today, so I might need to eat. I think you're going to win the skin. Nah, I'm not. I don't know. I will. I haven't heard back from like mods. I haven't heard back from the developers about what goes on with people who do X mount. So I don't know. We'll see. If I win the skin, I win the skin. But I'm not really pinning my hopes on it. But I have got a better idea of what I'm doing next season now. So genuinely, yeah. I'm as said. There's been like 2 weeks in this game where I was slow. And I was doing something I shouldn't have done, and I've sort of learned from it now. But I'm still in that state of mind where I actually wouldn't mind digging down to the next level and just clearing out the base of this area. So I think that's still a thing in my head. But it does take a long time to doze it. So this whole thing where you just take as far as you can reach actually works out a lot better. And I think this is the proper way to play leaderboard, is just take the top layer off, take as much as you can, and then you reset your claim. I think that's basically it. But when it comes to resetting, you don't save it before. You just reset. You just carry on. Keep up the grind. It's been awesome seeing you compete in the leaderboard. Mate, I've enjoyed it. It's like I was saying, I mean, you weren't here earlier, but the way I see it is it gives me a reason to play the game. Like, so my problem was playing this on like normal. When you're playing on your own, you're like, oh, do I really want to keep carrying on? It's going to be like another 7-hour grind. Can't be bothered. And you've got real sort of no push to do it. But when it comes to playing leaderboard, even if you're bottom, like, and you're right at the bottom, but you're enjoying it because you're actually doing something with a bunch of other people, even though it's not directly competing because someone's not playing with you, you're playing against other people. It gives you a more reason to pick up and play. And this is what I was saying yesterday. There was a kid who came in. He goes, "I've just bought this. Should I go into leaderboard?" It's like, no, learn to play the game first. I mean, it's going to be a bit boring, but learn to play the game first, and then come into leaderboard and learn. Because once you're into leaderboard, you're going to get into this whole how do I do things better. You will start Googling things. You will start going onto YouTube and watching people like Old Man and Split's old videos and anybody else that's really covering it to learn how the game works in leaderboard. And it's just a different way of playing. It's a lot faster. So, like, the way I would play this in normal, like, if I was going to do this as a full season, and I came on as like, hey guys, we're on Nighthawk, we're going to just grind through it, we're going to empty this claim, we're going to win the game. By the end of that series, I would have emptied Nighthawk, and that's the end. With leaderboards, you have to keep carrying on. You have to reset your claim, you basically have to keep going. So that's what you should do. You should just enjoy that and be happy and keep going. But you are going against people, and that makes it more fun. Playing on easy, I watched you learn it. Yeah, so thank you very much. For me, like, my next season, I know that, like, the first day in of my next season, if I do another leaderboard, which I probably will, I'll probably do the one in February because we'll see how things go. Might skip it, I don't know yet. But I know that when I first get into the game, I'm hunting down the boxes. I'm not even going to dig. I'm just going to go and get all the boxes. I'll do it live on stream. I will go through all the boxes, I'll pick them all up, and I'll be good. If you reset your claim, do you keep all your equipment? You do, but it goes into storage. You have to pay to get it all shipped back to you, and you have to set it all back up, so it's fresh every time. If you watch the end of last stream, when I reset the claim, I basically sat here with an empty claim, no equipment. You have to ship it all back. Things like nuggeter cables, joint, all of these pipes and bits and pieces, they all get sold off. Like, so you get the money back, but you don't keep it. Yeah. But it's, yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed it, and as I said, I've sat here a couple of times. I've watched Old Man Gaming's videos. Some of the stuff he does is different to the way I do it, which is why he digs faster than me. He's got the experience as well. He's done leaderboard several times. This was my first. So learning the things that I know now, and the time it takes me to set up, that's improved. The time it takes me to dig has improved. It now takes me just 3 hours to do 24 buckets of dirt. And that used to take me longer, because in my head I was taking my time more. Now I'm not so much, because I know what I've got to do. I know how fast I've got to do. You started in season 13. Whoa. I literally watched every second of Split's videos, at least 150 hours of them. Well, if you've watched all of these live streams, actually I don't know how long I've been going for. You've probably watched about 100 hours of my content if you've watched all of these streams since I started in like early December. I could probably find, actually, on Steam. Shouldn't it tell me how long I've played it on Steam? Let's have a look on Steam quick. Library Gold Rush. I've now got 633 hours under my belt playtime. Is there a way of finding out how long I've played this game for? But no, my today time, I've got 633 hours under my belt. When I started playing this again in beginning of October, when I started doing my series, I think I was to like 450 hours. I think. Friends can check in the leaderboard. Would you do me a favour? Jump in leaderboard quick and put my time in. But yeah, so this is basically I will be doing a bit more today and so on. Just a sec, not in the game. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. But yeah, so I'll probably be doing a bit more today, during my time, and then my next stream will be tomorrow night. I might be doing a reset very early tomorrow, and then just digging through. Because I'll probably just go for it and just see what happens. But I've got to make up like 40,000 ounces. That's not going to happen. Like, the leaderboard for me is like, I'm probably going to settle, if I can get another like 20 ounces, I'm 12th, you know? And I think that's not bad for somebody who basically just played it and just went, yeah, that'll do. You know? Oh. 110. Yeah, there you go. So I've done 110 hours in this just for leaderboard. And I think I've done, yeah, I've done all right. So how much have you done? So, oh man, you've done 15 hours more time than I have, and you've basically doubled the amount. That's the difference between my first season and old man's like 17th season. Whoa, that got dark. I've seen all 110 hours. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You haven't seen all 110 hours because me at 110 hours, I was doing stuff offline as well. So I've done a few bits offline where I was dozing, was doing that sort of thing. So that adds up. So I've probably done about 100 hours online. Some of that time is me sleeping at the keyboard. Excellent. But yeah, so if you look at the times, like for me, it's like that extra 15 hours. Yeah, I could probably put in another, what do we say, like 3 hours for a full cleanup. That's about 5,000 ounces of gold. So 5, 10, 15. Yeah, I could have probably had another 15,000 ounces at my pace. yeah, so however long I've been streaming, I know it's normally between a 3 to 5 hour stream. That's normally my time. So tomorrow, depending where I find myself during the day of like how far I'm digging and stuff, tomorrow's stream, because I normally do a 5 hour stream. If I can start my stream at 6, I might be able to finish at midnight and we'll do 2 cleanups in one go. But then Sunday's just going to be... I don't think I'm going to be streaming... I don't think I'm going to be playing this on Sunday because I've got other stuff to do. And then this is the end of the season, so I've got to start doing actual content for this channel now. But yeah, apart from that, we're doing alright. It's first season in. I'm alright with this. But yeah, so thank you very much for coming by. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have enjoyed this stream, the videos I do on the channel and everything else, hit that like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates. I will be back here as soon as I can be. Chances are it'll be tomorrow, and it'll be between 6 and 7 I'll start, and we'll go from there. So until then, thank you very much for coming by. Don't forget you can become a member if you really want to. It can help us out the channel, helps out my family, because basically my money goes towards them. So thank you very much for kicking by. I want to say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Have a great rest of your day, weekend, week, or wherever it is in the time. And I'll see you all later. Ah, boom. Fist bump to you.